Hi, everyone. Welcome to Chair Yoga. This is week 4 of our 8 Limbs of Yoga series. So I'm going to just give some refresher information in case you're just joining in and you're not sure what this is all about. Just a little bit refresher to begin with. And this comes from this book I'm using, A Morning Cup of Yoga, just a simple little book, thin, but super well done in terms of its broad scope of yoga information, not to mention just the practice, the asana movement practice and breath practice it offers. It's got some really wonderful information put together about the spiritual practice of yoga as well. So I'm going to jump into and just reading it right from the book to give you a reminder of why we're approaching this 8 Limbs of Yoga series. At their deepest level, the physical practices of yoga exist within a spiritual framework whose ultimate goal is the union. That's what yoga means. The word yoga is a Sanskrit word and it translates as union. So the ultimate goal is the union of the individual soul with the divine, a melting of the individual personality into pure consciousness. The physical postures are seen as a preparation for spiritual liberation. So what we're starting with in those 8 limbs of yoga are the yamas and the niyamas. The first 2 steps of the system of yoga, the yamas and niyamas, are foundational for anyone embarking on a serious yoga path. These ethical precepts are guidelines designed to help a human being live a wholesome life in harmony with self and others. The 5 yamas, or restraints, focus on your relationships to the outer world. And I've used the visual that's like a horizontal perspective, that you're looking at your relationship to others, and you can kind of imagine that as a horizontal line. The 5 niyamas, or observances, are personal cleansing and self-training practices that be more of a vertical line, just using that same image. So what our focus is. So to this week, week 4, we're launching into a little bit, the next steps are in the yama category. We're in this one is a tough word, Brahmacharya, how many 18 letters, something like that. Brahmacharya. And I'll say this, for this time, I think she missed the mark. The description of Brahmacharya in this particular book, she uses, one word, description. She used the word chastity. I don't think it's very on the money. I just, I think that's one aspect of it, but I don't think it's as, I've seen it done better, let's put it that way. So I'm going to use something else in my definition of it, and that is moderation of the senses. Brahmacharya, you could think of it as moderation of the senses or right use of energy. So again, what these yamas are doing for us is not saying what not to do. It's saying what we already know to be so within our heart and soul. Our true self knows, right action, knows what is right alignment within us as a human being relating to others. We do know. And this is like uncovering or peeling back some of the stuff that gets in the way from us behaving in a way using what we already know. And so what we already know is that moderation has its benefits for our well-being and for the people around us. What popped up in my mind is that, like moderation of what? Well, we can think of what is a disorder, like, like when we overdo eating, drinking alcohol, working, perfectionism, sexual activity, which is what she focused in on the book. So those are the ways that can be overdone, where it's not moderation. And this right use of energy, that pretty much sums it up. So that's what Brahmacharya brings for us as the yama of this week. The niyama, this is awesome. This is one of my favorites, Santosa, and that is contentment. Contentment. And what a beautiful space to be. Now, this one I like a lot, her write-up. A beautiful niyama to work with is the practice of contentment or santosha. In this practice, we decide that in this very moment, we will be contented no matter what storms are threatening. The fact is, there are always storms. If we wait for things to become as we demand them to be in order to be contented, we will always be waiting. Contentment can be enjoyed in small tastes. On the worst day of days, it's possible to pause and look at the world with unclouded eyes for a moment. See the sky, hear a bird, see a child's face, and say, for this tiny moment, I choose to be contented. Begin to look for those moments. When you crawl into your bed at night, let your body relax. Let go of the concerns of your day. Stop trying to control events and people around you. And as the Beatles said, let it be. When we quit fighting and resisting, contentment arises naturally. So beautifully said. Nothing more I can add to that. So we begin our practice now, our asana practice that will support this exploration of the 8 limbs of yoga. So join me in our seated position. I'm going to suggest you bring your block to the floor so that your ankles can make connection with that. Come forward enough on the chair that you're not using the backrest. And then you begin your own process of right alignment, where you feel balanced right to left, front to back. You feel well supported by the chair. You feel a sense of grounding through your feet and then your legs. And holding on to the block with your ankles is a way to bring more awareness to that particular area. So it has a way of kind of a domino effect, that when you have this connection to the ground and soles of your feet, and then you move into the ankles and you're feeling your ankles, which is rare, right? How many times do we have an awareness in moving through our day that we can really notice our ankles supporting us? Very rare. So you're just bringing some new awareness into your body by connecting your ankles to that block. And then the domino effect is your leg muscles have to line up. You start to support the bony structure of your body even more so because you've made that one reference. So it's just that kind of process. Let's pull the belly in for that support of the core. So the abdominal action always brings us there. Palms up on the lap, close your eyes, and begin to feel connected to your breathing, feeling connected to your body by noticing your body breathing. So if you need a big cleansing breath to get started, like, okay, here we go. So just do those kinds of cleansing breaths, whatever it is you may need, so that you feel that you're now in sync with and aware of your body as it's breathing. So you're feeling your body and feeling the breath moving through. So that you just start to feel its natural rhythm for yourself. I'm going to invite you to just do a gentle rocking motion. I'm going to suggest front to back, but if you feel like, man, that's not really feeling like the rocking I want to do, there's the side to side or circular movement, but some sort of rocking, just so subtle to help you calm yourself and bring yourself into this place. Relaxing your facial muscles, softening your tongue, so that we right away start to notice that there's this balance between ease and effort. We're feeling our feet to the ground and we're kind of squeezing into a block. So there's some efforting going on, and the leg muscles have started to activate. The abdominal wall is active. So there's some efforting. And at the same time, we're relaxing the face. I want you to create this rocking movement to calm your nervous system even more. Just using the tools of yoga to be very centered, very aware. And then see if you can make sure your breath is moving in and out through the nose. See if that, just invite that as a possibility of a way to do your breath work right now, that you're breathing in and out through the nose. If it's not comfortable, just let it go. Breathe the way it is working better for you so it's natural and effortless. Just noticing, no controlling at this point. And then let's still the body. So the rocking motion, we can just leave that be. Coming back to stillness in the body. Lift and lengthen your spine so you feel very tall and strong through your back body. I'm going to introduce a circle of breath. Start with the soles of your feet. Let's imagine that the breath starts there. So we take a big inhale from the soles of our feet. We travel that breath up through the legs, up through the front of the body, all the way to the crown, and then just effortlessly that shifts to its exhale. And the exhale goes down the back side of the body, back down to the floor, back down to the soles of your feet. So circle the breath. Inhale starts at the feet and works its way up through the front of the body. A long inhale now to make its way through that whole path. Exhale as you go back through the back side of your body, down, back to the soles of your feet. Stay with that. It'll elongate your inhale and your exhale somewhat. Quite a path. Trying to follow it the whole way. Don't jump. Don't pass over. Go from your feet to your head without noticing the front of your body, your knees, your thighs, your belly, your chest. You want to pay attention to this whole experience of the circle of breath through the front side of the body and rolling right into the back side of the body on that exhale. Full breath in, followed by a full breath out. Palms are open. Let's set our particular intention. Trust that that breath process is really already helping you. And we can now just divert ourselves to the setting of intention. There is a word for that in the yoga tradition. It's called sankalpa. And my plan of action is once we complete the 8 limbs, I'm going to bring us to some self-study about sankalpa, about intention setting. What do you need from yoga today? This is for you. This is all about you. And sort of the instructions, I guess, that we get about setting intention says once you kind of arrive there, then we're letting it go. We're saying, so there it is. I'm not going to, hold on and grip it. I'm going to trust it, believe in it, know it to be so. So let's take a big breath in through the nose. Exhale it out of our mouth like a sigh, like, oh, okay, let it go. One more in through the nose, out through the mouth, a sigh of letting go, clearing, cleansing. And one more breath, same way. And release. Let's flutter the eyes open and begin our movement now as release our hands to alongside the chair. I want you to come into your cow pose. So we're arching the back body and letting the arms slide past that chair frame, really feeling the arch of the back, the extension of the spine. Stay with it for the full breath cycle, both in and out as you feel your way through the length of your spine. So maybe we have some prominence where we feel it all the time, right in the very center of the spine, or see if you can be very thorough about it, that you're feeling it from the tailbone all the way to the head, all the way into your head, because your cervical spine meets you right there at the skull. Breathing in and breathing out, feeling that. And when it's time for the exhale, your next exhale, start to round through that. Now let's extend those arms out in front of you and feel the same spine, but in a different curve, right? Into this flexion and feeling that. The movement that we're going to embark on here is a pumping action. So I want you to just kind of be aware of that so that you really get into it. As we inhale now, we're going to extend and exaggerate that movement. That's the full inhalation, exhalation. As we round through the back body, let the chin drop to your chest, and you're finding your rhythm of movement. Don't be staring at me at the screen. You don't need that at all. You need to be moving through your own process, connecting your body to this breath. And there's this pumping action. It's like the energy that is stored in your pelvis, and it is a resource of energy, I'm telling you, that you're starting to move that into the body through the spine. It'll make its way to your arms and hands and back. So you're pumping that energy that has been stored in your pelvis, and we're spreading it out. Exaggerate the movement. You want to feel the whole spine taking part in this. Next time you're exhaling, you're in the rounded cat portion of this. I want you to extend now, forward, forward, reaching your fingertips forward, forward as we fold our body down to meet our thighs and knees. Maybe you've got your armpits wrapped around your knees by now. If not, no problem. It's just one of the places we seem to be able to go here. Surrender the weight of your head so you're not trying to hold it up. You're trying to look down and under yourself and allow your head to be in traction where your neck's release, the release of tension in your neck here. And of course, we're feeling that connection of our breath to the thighs, and we can feel our belly and thighs interacting. Big belly breaths, full breaths, hearty breaths. Let's jump our hands to our thighs and bring yourself up halfway so that your back body is in a diagonal position. And all the way up to center. You know, it's funny that it never occurred to me. We do an action, put together some actions of movement in our yoga practice typically. I've never assigned it the term sun salutation, but it absolutely is. Sun salutations in the traditional yoga practice, very common, the framework for many practices. We do it. I just never call it that. So I'm going to change that. And I want to just start now with the sun salutation. It looks like this. Inhale up, palms come together, up and overhead. Exhale to your heart, bow into yourself. Inhale up, spread your hands apart, reach forward, that same forward fold, reaching forward, laying yourself down onto your thighs. Let's give it a full breath cycle here, in and out. Jump your hands to your thighs, lift up halfway to a flat back. We squeeze our elbows in toward our waist and come all the way up to standing, or, to our seated mountain pose. That's a sun salutation, folks. So know that, and I'm going to keep working those into, that idea, and that, for your own home practice, that you remember, oh no, I can do a few of those sun salutations. Let's extend those arms out in a T where you're pointing your thumbs back and you spread your hands open wide, fingers are spread apart, and you feel a stretch through your palm. So it feels super active all the way through the whole length of your arms. Now we're going to pull the belly in and stomp the feet to the ground. So if you lost your block, see if you can find it again. You get your ankles to squeeze into that block. And so you feel the strength of your legs, like it's almost to the point where you could lift your bottom right up off that chair. That's how strong your legs feel and how active they are right now. Let's deepen the breath. Feel the strength of that now. Strength of your legs, strength of your whole body. My back feels stronger. I can feel it everywhere. Inhale up. Exhale hard. Inhale back up, palms face forward. Reach all the way forward. Lay yourself down on your thighs. Look underneath yourself. Jump your hands to your thighs now and squeeze your elbows into the waist, and we're going to come up halfway. This time, however, we're going to hold our sun salutation in midair, I guess, and I want you to let your arms come right up alongside you, alongside your head if you can. And if this is too much, it's very long. You're asking a lot through the back body to support. You could say, well, I'm going to modify that. Hands are going to stay on the thighs. I can still hold this part of it. This is an elongated version. Head, neck, and spine in alignment. Your legs are real important here. Make sure your legs are super strong, holding you here, stabilizing your low back. Let's fold forward again all the way down. Release the weight of your head. Find your breath. Hands jump up to the thighs. We're going to bring ourselves all the way up, back to our mountain pose. I want you to just do some shoulder rolls now. Very exaggerated movement. So you really feel like you're bringing your shoulders up into your neck. You know, you want to get real high up with that so that you can pull that way down. Stay with this movement. Don't change the direction. Let's stay with it for a few more of these rolls. Squeeze and hold. And when you release, we're going to start the other way. So change the direction of your shoulder roll. Deepen the breath now. Stay with that breath. We always have to have that part of the recipe, don't we? And then squeeze and release, squeeze and release, and again, squeeze and release. I want you to move your block underneath the chair so it's not in your way. And let's begin some leg movements now. So keeping the spine long, though you might find that you tilt back just a little bit, just for the balance of it. So that would be fine. But just trying to keep yourself open through the chest and the belly engaged. And we're just going to start getting the legs to lift and start to juice up the hips a little bit. The psoas muscle. You can hold on to the chair here if that gives you more stability. If you choose not to, that's going to be requiring a little more of your core strength, so a little more challenging. Next time your right knee is up, let's hold that. Grab hold of your shin and pull it in, and we're going to circle that foot around so we can wake up the joints of your ankle, you know, your many joints of the foot, toes. Circle around. Stay tall, stay strong, stay purposeful. This isn't a resting pose. This isn't a time to check out. It's time to just stay here, work on this ankle, find your breath. Good, let's flip our hands underneath. Interlaced hands are underneath that thigh. We release the weight of that leg into our arms. Just hold that. We're going to do some like bicep curls. You're going to just lift that heavy leg up and down using the arm muscles. So it's weight bearing here. So you got to mindfully release the weight of your leg. That is tricky. You know, our leg is just going to want to take over. So just allowing your heaviness of leg to provide you with this weight bearing movement, you know, strengthening your biceps. Lift and hold now. And then now we're going to turn that leg back on. I want you to just stay with the underside of your thigh. Try not to work your way up, just for the difference of it, just for a challenge of it, that we're holding onto the underside of the thigh, the hamstring area, and lifting that leg as straight and as tall and high as we can. It's like we're trying to do the splits as we sit here. And notice how much more support you might feel if you press a little bit into the foot that's on the floor. So that standing leg takes on a little more of a noticeable role here, that you're going to try to lift that leg higher by standing into the other leg, so to speak. Excellent. Let's bend the knee and hug it in and release, and we'll go back to lifting one leg at a time. catch up with your breath here. If there's any sort of movement your body needs to adjust, this is a transitional time. So you'll just follow the lead of your body, resetting however you might need to. Catch up with your breath for sure. Big breaths that might need to help you reset. Other side now, we're holding on, grabbing hold of the shin. Let's move the foot around. Great time to keep steadying the breath. We're trying to breathe in and out through the nose if we can. It's a good yoga technique. And then we're going to slip our hands underneath that thigh, heavy up that leg. Feel the weight of the leg now being held by our arms. And then we're going to do our bicep curls. So as you lift that heavy leg up and down, it's all about the arms. Strengthen your belly so the framework here of your body is strong and supportive. So you got to override the tendency to let your leg just lift up and down because you could do it that way. Be easier. We're going to just heavy up the leg and use our arm muscles. A couple more. Good. Now lift and hold. You're going to stick that leg straight out. Continue to hold on the underside of your leg. On the underside of the thigh. So we're not going to move our hands down into the calf. We're going to see about lifting, doing the splits on this side, a straight leg, up, up, up. Use the standing leg now to give you some foundational support. Find a bigger breath if you need it. Lifting up, 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 and your spine is still long. Don't cave in. Push through the sole of your foot, particularly your heel. Nice job. We'll release, give it a little hug in, and bring our feet back to the floor. Now I want you to come back a little bit in the chair, just a little bit further back, so you've got more support for your legs. So they're held by the chair a little more, so you're not back into the backrest, but you've got a little bit more, chair underneath your thighs, if you know what I mean, so that you can lift out and hold that, and there, the chair is helping you. Okay, so let's just try some movement of the arms. I'm going to say palms forward. I'm just kind of changing that around a little bit because it changes the musculature of the shoulders when we turn our hands various ways. So just for now, palms are forward and down. So we're lifting up like a full body stretch. So let's use that one. Push your feet into the floor, lift your arms up and feel this full body stretch. And down and up. Push your feet into the floor, big stretch, and down. Now let's lift the legs up and the arms. Now there's a full body stretch. Pushing through the soles of the feet, arms extended up. Arms come down, one at a time with the feet. Take a pause. Let's add the feet first. Arms up. Full body extension. So we can do opposite limbs. So take your opposite limbs down at the same time. I don't even know if I can talk you through it. So see if you can just opposite limbs come down and down. Try that again. How about going back up? Opposite limbs engage at the same time and then come down at the same time. This is that left brain, right brain exercise. Opposite limbs engage in the pose at the same time. And then we disengage those opposite limbs. One more time. Great. And then just reset the body. Extend those arms wide, and then I want you to just give yourself a hug. Notice which arm's on top, because what you're going to do is just change that. As we open up, and then we crisscross it the other way. You know what? This gives you an opportunity to do a different version of extending your spine. So it's like how to do a cat-cow in a little different fashion, a variation. We're crisscrossing the arms different. Just a little bit of, again, engaging the brain in this right brain, left brain connection, crisscrossing the energy from left side of the body, right side of the body. That's kind of what's in play here. And at the same time, you're still opening and closing in terms of the extension of the spine and the front body. Opening and closing and crisscrossing. When we come out of that, we're going to meet in a cactus-like position with our elbows bent, hands are wide open. Feel the feet to the floor so you feel really grounded. Kind of the same stability that you think about for your mountain pose here. Deepen the breath and just close it in and open it. Close it, open. Let's hold that closed position now. Hold it and lift your elbows up. Now pay attention. I want you to scan your body with your awareness. As you squeeze your elbows and palms together, where are you feeling it in your body? Breathing into that and finding the strength of your legs to offer support here. Pressing your feet into the floor, feel strength of legs. Body scan now. Pay attention to what you're experiencing. See where you can really cooperate by expanding. If you're feeling a sense of expansion between your shoulder blades, for example, that you're trying to add to that with your awareness. One more full breath. Lift up one more time. Lift it a little bit up. And when we come down, we're going to bring our elbows down to our thighs and come up and down now. A little crunch. Pull the belly in, really have an engaged abdominal wall here. Feel your feet connected to the ground. You want to feel as much of your body as you can, just noticing how thorough this is. Let's come up and take a big lift up. Palms are together, arms are alongside the ears. Let's move into a sun salutation. Inhaling here, exhaling to the heart. Inhaling up, we separate the palms. Exhale, fold all the way down. Surrender the weight of your head. We're breathing in and we're breathing out here. Jump your hands to your thighs. Lift yourself up halfway. Squeeze those elbows in towards your waist. Inhale back up. All the way, palms come together. And exhale, heart. Let's hold. Good. Let's cross one leg over the other, squeezing the thighs together. This is going to help us with our twist position. So we can find this foundational support, inhaling up, exhaling into the twist that offers up. So you're turning toward your crossed over leg. The top leg is where you're turning toward. And remember to start low and work your way up. You know the fundamentals of a twist as well as I do. So you're starting low, working your way up, knowing that it's a work in progress. You're just working it, rolling that back shoulder to try to make sure, yep, that is nice and ready for me. It's loose, it's easy, it's just waiting for this deepening. You can use the chair as little or as much as you want, no apologies. I can get a whole lot out of this twist because I can hold on to the chair and deepen it. I support that 100%. What can you do to pin that back shoulder back? You know, we've been sitting on our hand a lot. If that works for you, please do that. If there's something else that works better, do that. Now lift your head up, you know, so that you're not looking down. You're just neutral, but it's lifted rather than looking down. So your neck is very neutral. And stay with it for a few more breaths to see if you get any more space. You know, that green light that we run into the stop sign, we run into the red light, we can't move any further, but we breathe, we wait, before you know it, there's a green light, we got space. On your next exhale, take your head out of that twist and then take your shoulders out. And let's switch to the other side. So take your time to just reset, make sure your bottom is well supported, centered on the chair. Legs are squeezed together for that foundational support. Inhale up. Exhale into your twist. So we start over here. We make sure that shoulder, that back shoulder has got our full attention because it needs some help loosening up, getting rid of any stickiness that might still be there so we can get it way back there. We pin it down in some fashion. We use the chair or we use our body parts to give us some leverage. The head is neutral now. I want your neck to be neutral. Don't look down. Just try to lift up, but it's just in a neutral position. We wait for the green lights. We breathe our way into that possibility. The Santosa, contentment, shows up in yoga postures all the time, where you have this, maybe at first you do these poses and you'll think, I'm not doing it like she does it, or you get some idea of perfectionism or something. And then all of a sudden your body just starts saying, this feels so good right here. I'm content here. I like this just fine here and now. That's that notion of Santosa showing up. Let's take our head out of the picture. Shoulders come out, and we'll get both feet to the ground. I want you to scoot your feet underneath a bit to get yourself up and out of the chair. At least 3 of these, a few more if you can, if you want to, but at least 3 let's do. And then we'll meet in a position where we've got the tall side of the chair nearby. I'm going to put the back of the chair nearby. And we're going to meet first of all in our mountain pose. Oh, the block. I do want to use the block. I want you to have your block between your thighs now. So our mountain pose has now just a little bit of help. So we're squeezing into that block, making sure our feet are parallel to one another. Pull the belly in, shoulders are back and down, palms face forward. Soften the knees though, don't lock. I want you to close your eyes if you're comfortable with that. Your chair is right by you. You could always hold on if you feel like you're losing your way. I want you to try that circle of breath again. Start with your breath at the soles of your feet. Take that long inhale up through the whole front body. And once it's at the crown of the head, it just falls gently into the exhalation back through the back side of the body. Definitely a full body experience. And this one's called the circle of breath. There's no pause in between the inhale and the exhale. It just melds into each other. Soften the knees. Even if you don't feel totally caught up with your breathing, you can still imagine the breath as it is. Maybe it's kind of choppy. It's not very smooth yet. It's still moving in that direction. Any amount that you're aware of, that you can imagine, that is going to be just fine. So it might not be perfect. It's not this smooth, circular thing, but it works just fine. Full breath in and moves right to the full breath out. Last breath cycle now. We're going to open the eyes after this. And then let's lift up. Palms are going to face forward as we lift up, and act like you're going to sit in a chair. So you start to squat down and then let those arms sweep you back up. Inhale up. We're kind of squatting into a chair-like position, and then let your arms just sweep on down. Inhaling up. Squeeze the block, exhale down. Inhaling up, hold that. Breathe in and breathe out, reach up, squeeze the block. Now squeeze the block and tumble forward into a forward fold all the way down. Your chair is right by you. So if you can't hang your head low, you'll just hold on to the chair and come to the place where you can. Now I'm adjusting my block a little bit because folding forward, it's kind of in the way, but you can still do it. Just adjust it a little bit so there, it's not in the way anymore. And you can get your belly down into your legs, hanging low with your head, heavy, heavy head. The language I have always said is your head is low, your butt is high. Deepen that breath. Feel your whole body and how it is cooperating. Every part of you has your awareness. Hands are coming to the shins. We lift up halfway, just a little bit up. So use your hands like a bracket to support your back. Fold again. Looks like a sun salutation here. Hands again come to the shins, and we're going to lift all the way up. Pause here with your arms in the air if you can. Bring them down if that's a better option for you. If you can stay with the full extension, let's do that. Catch up with your breath. And this time, as we come into that chair squat, we're going to do the arms a little different. So we each come into the chair squat, and you bring your arms back. And we lift up to lengthen. And we come down into that chair squat. Up and down. Let's hold that. See if you can interlace your hands behind your back. Pull your hands back away from the back body. Keep your head neutral. I could see how my face was just trying to stick right out there. Keep your head neutral so the back of your neck and spine feel like they're in alignment. Squeeze the block. Catch up with your breath. When we release from the pose, we're going to tumble down like a rag doll, down, down, down. Look underneath yourself. Let's take the block out from between our thighs. Maybe tuck it under your chair. Catch up with your breathing. Hang heavy and low into the fold. Hands are going to come to your shins. We're going to lift up a little bit. Then jump your hands to your thighs right up by the crease of your legs. So you've got yourself in an L-shaped position. Don't look at the screen. You're fine. You're going to trust yourself. You're coming into an L-shaped position where your shoulders now are as high as your hips. Hands are there on your thighs, pressing into the thighs real strong to keep you supported. Feel your feet, feel your legs. This is a great opportunity to straighten the bend of the knee. See what you can do to straighten your legs a little bit. Push your hands into your thighs and bring yourself all the way to standing. Come right into mountain. Just immediately find your mountain pose and catch up with your breath. Good. Let's hold on to the chair now. We're going to do some leg swings. So just have a standing leg next to the chair and our other leg is in motion. It's a straight leg forward and a bent knee back. And you're trying to find a particular path. So you're not going all crazy with this leg moving in any old direction it wants to. You're going to give it an assignment of a particular path, and that's what you'll follow, keeping your body upright, head, neck, and spine in alignment, and feeling your body just find this rhythm and movement. Before you know it, it's effortless. Try to add a little bit of a butt kick. So when you bend that knee, you're actually kind of trying to force or pull that heel in toward your buttocks. Little butt kick here. You'll feel a little more prominent stretch in your quads. Just a quick one. It's like a flash of a stretch there. Good. Let's take that bent knee now and lift it straight up. Lift it up so it's a right angle. You got your leg in a right angle. And you can just take a moment to make sure that's true, that your thigh bone feels like it's parallel to the floor. Holding on to the chair the whole time would be fine. Let's pull the belly in. Put your hand on your belly and feel that engagement. And that's all there is to it. Holding up that strong leg, putting all your body weight into that strong standing leg. And you know, that bent knee, that's not nothing, right? There's some real strengthening going on there. Stand tall. To add to your balance challenge, perhaps you got both hands on your belly. Smooth out your breath. It could be loud. It's just that it's kind of smooth, or it's smoother. Let's bring that foot to the floor. Oh boy, and shake that out. Shake it out throughout your whole body. Your legs definitely need it, probably the rest of you too. I'm going to move my support over just so I can continue to maintain visual, visibility for you. We're going to do the leg swings on the other side. Take your time when you're ready. It's moving through that same straight leg forward, bent knee back, keeping your upper body upright. Try not to rock and roll. You know, sometimes we start swinging like this. So I want you to isolate the movement in your leg, and the rest of your body is staying still, or as still as you can manage. And then do the butt kick. Try to add that little flash of quadricep stretch into that. And the bent knee comes up. So our thigh bone is parallel to the floor. Let's pull the belly in. All body weight now being held by that standing leg. So you're really building good, strong bone mass here. To add to the balance is both hands come to the belly. Keep that leg up. Steady the breath as best you can. Now, this is my steady breath, folks. You might think it's choppy, but I'm telling you, that's as steady as I got it today. One more full cycle. Both feet come to the floor. Let's shake that out. Let's turn the chair so we've got the low side. We've got the seat of the chair facing us, and we can do our downward facing dog. Hands are going to come there and start walking backwards. Arms glide past the ears. A gentle touch to the chair seat. You don't need to press hard. You're going to use your leg muscles here, pulling back through the buttocks, through the pelvis, to the wall behind you. Keep your feet connected to the ground. You feel your toes connected to ground. You feel your heels, the whole surface of your feet connected to the ground, to the earth. Make sure your head feels neutral, no strain in the neck. Sometimes we'll say the cue that's often offered is to you shake your head yes and no. You're moving your head enough to test that. Stay steady with the breath. Pull back through the thigh bones. Stretch it back one more time. You can do it. Then we'll start walking slowly to the chair. Start bringing ourselves up. I want you to do a cat and a cow here. So once we come up to sort of our tabletop position, bend your knees and round your back body into that C-shaped curve of the cat. And then straighten the legs a little bit. Let your chest come up into the cow pose. So let's do with the standing position here, our cat and cow movements. You are your best guide. So you know what you're doing. You know how to stretch this is a posture, this combination of postures you're very familiar with. So I want you to just feel your way into it. Let's come into a neutral position. So you're just with that neutral back. And hold that. And then we're going to try a little bit of abdominal work, where that is where you're bringing your nose to your knee or your forehead and then bringing it down. So just rounding through the back body and lifting that bent knee up. Switching sides. Now hold it. Lifting that leg up, toward your face and bringing your face down towards your knee. And then we'll try the other side where we're going to hold it when our knee is high up as it'll go, and trying to bring our face down to meet it. Belly strength. Both feet to the floor. Let's step back, our last down dog here. Stretch it out. Neutralize your head. Check it out. Yes and no. Can you move it gently? Not a lot of pressure with your hands. Keep working on that. Your legs can do this. Walk yourself back to the chair. All the way up, finding our mountain. Breathe in and breathe out. Time to make our way to a seated position. So if you can bring yourself back to the chair, great. Not quite for our Shavasana, not quite yet. So come forward a little bit on the chair. But this is another time, an opportunity for us to keep our legs supported. So you've got plenty of chair underneath your legs, even though you're not leaning into the backrest. We're going to duplicate what we did a moment ago, and that is a full body extension, including the legs or not, your choice. And then exchanging the limb movement. Engaging one, opposite limbs at a time, and then disengaging those limbs. Let's hold it. If you're in there, hold the extension. Legs are extended, arms are extended. We're breathing. Big breaths. Arms come down. One leg at a time comes down. We're back to our neutral position. Let's open the legs a little wider. Circle around now. Restoring this feeling of fluid ease in the body. So it's kind of got a combination of rocking and circling, calming. Let's close the eyes just for an added benefit of calming the nervous system. Change the direction of your circle. And coming back to center. Now scoot yourself back and lay back into the backrest. So keeping some space between your legs, on purpose. Letting your feet soften and relax. Deepening your breath. I'm going to give you a little guidance with that. So you get yourself comfortable. Maybe you choose to get into a different chair, or you lay down on the floor when you're doing this. I don't know how you do it. So finding your comfortable way to be in Shavasana. Eyes are closed. Feeling your breath moving in and out through your nose if that works well for you. And your next exhale comes all the way down to your feet. And then your inhale comes all the way back to the crown of the head. Exhale down to your feet. Inhale back up your body into the crown of the head. This exhale lands in your knees. From knees to the crown of the head as you inhale. Exhale back to your knees. Inhale, crown of the head. This exhale lands in your pelvis, in the pelvic bowl, the space of the pelvis. Inhale from the pelvic bowl into the crown of the head. Exhale to your pelvis. Inhale to the crown. Exhale to the chest or heart center. I want you to bring one hand or both to your heart. So the breath pattern goes from the heart center to the crown. Exhale back to where your hands are, right there at the chest, at your heart center. Let's stay with that breath. The pathway from head to heart. Relax your shoulders. Relax the weight of your legs. Breathing from head to heart. Relaxing your back into the chair support. Softening the mouth. Trusting now that that breath pattern has been established. You can trust it and you can relax your body, bringing your awareness wherever your body looks for it to ease your way into this position. The breath from head to heart, it's taking care of itself. You're relaxing and enjoying the benefits of that. I came across this poem, this book of poems that I use so often is chock full of wisdom, and I have had this tendency to rely on, a dozen of them that I use all the time. And there's a whole bunch of them that I don't use all the time. And I'm trying to, broaden that and see the beauty of all these different poems. This one really spoke to me today. I hope you have the same experience. It's called Life Here at the Edge. When love lights a fire in the heart, don't be so quick to quell the flames. To be fully alive is to welcome the beloved in countless names and guises, not turn away the wild with the tame. Drink your fill of longing. Let love wash through in waves that lift you up and carry both your daring and your fear straight to unknown places. Yes, there is danger in not staying safely cloaked in morality and labels. But there is life here at the edge, and a choice to be made between thoughtful abandon and passionate restraint. The plaintive cry of the heart can be ignored only at the price of a fully realized life. So throw arms wide to possibilities that move and call you to come forth in freedom and in fullness. Trust the seed of grace within to blossom without sin or sorrow, for you are surely big enough to hold the truth as it unfolds. Keep your eyes closed now as you bring your hands together at your heart and you begin to rub your palms together right there at your heart. And just rub them because there's generating some heat in your hands, and your hands are an extension of your heart. And then gently lay those warmed up hands on your face to cover your eyes. Hold that there, just making this connection of heart to your face and your mind, and opening your eyes into that space. And then let's bring our hands together at the heart center now and bow into ourselves as we breathe in and we breathe out. Cultivating this Brahmacharya energy, this moderation of the senses, and how that might benefit us this week. And of course, Santosa, contentment. Let's sync up our breath one last time. Inhale up. Exhale to your heart. We bow into ourselves. Inhale up. Exhale, go wide with the arms. We share the benefits and blessings of this practice to everyone, everywhere. Hands come to the prayer position. Bow into ourselves and to one another. Namaste, my friends. Thank you, everyone. And if you are joining me on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel.
Julie, what book was that from? That was